In 2004, the Sri Lankan tsunami became a catalyst for lawyers to engage globally to use their skills to eradicate poverty. A4ID grew out of the Oxfam 1000 City Lawyer Initiative and harnessed the enthusiasm of those lawyers to use their skills in a wider context to promote the Millennium Development Goals through practical initiatives. The Millennium Development Goals are guaranteed minimum standards to secure human development, and they were agreed to by world leaders under the auspices of the UN towards the end of the last century. Their target date of achievement is 2015. Lawyers have a key role to play in furthering international development, whether it be through trade, finance, protecting or securing rights. And A4ID coordinates the efforts of lawyers from across the world to provide maximum impact for the legal profession in this area.
A4ID acts as a broker or an intermediary between the international development community and the legal sector.
The work of A4ID has been invaluable to us because they've been able to provide the legal arguments that we required in order to sustain the work of our partners on the ground.
If we don't have the rights to the land, tomorrow someone could turn up and make us leave. But with a legal document, we can say that this small piece of land is ours. With the little that we have, the council or someone else can't come and remove us from the land, as has happened before.
We are a charity and we don't have enormous amount of resources to fund this invaluable piece of work. And I think in that respect, A4ID has been an avenue that we have been able to capitalize in order to maximize the limited resources we have.
I'm contacted by development organisations from all over the world who don't have access to legal services. They contact me, sometimes with little idea of what legal needs they have, sometimes with a very clear idea of what they need at that particular time.
Sometimes one underestimates what a part the law and legal services can play to help solve or contribute to solving some of the world's problems. And one of the beauties about A4ID's model of deploying experts in their expert field is that it levels the playing field. To a degree, it levels the playing field between the developed world and the developing world.
I think it's fundamental to being a lawyer that you're willing to use your skill set to help other people where they can't get access to legal advice. It's in our interests, it's part of our job, it's a duty of a lawyer to make his skill or her skill available. Linklaters has involved lawyers from 7 of our offices around the world in A4ID projects. I firmly believe that somebody who's never done any pro bono work has missed out on a lot. There's an opportunity there. It's interesting, it's generally different, and it gives you a picture of the world which you just don't have if you sit in a highly commercial city law firm.
I sort of am a person that tries to speak 2 languages, that of understanding what it is that the development organisation needs and translating that into words that lawyers will quickly connect into.
Working with A4ID has provided all of the lawyers in all of our offices in the US, Europe and Asia with the option to take on meaningful pro bono work. So we've been very pleased that A4ID has been offering these wonderful opportunities for all of our lawyers to consider.
Advocates for International Development, A4ID, gave me the opportunity to work in a way that I wouldn't normally have the opportunity to work. I collaborated with a commercial specialist in a different set of chambers and a human rights specialist in yet another set of chambers to provide for the benefit of the client a cross-disciplinary approach.
A4ID exists so that lack of access to lawyers isn't a barrier to international development for the world's poorest communities.
It's tapped into a growing sense of conscience, really, on the part of the developed world and especially on the part of professionals within the developed world, a realization that they need to do more to help the developing world, not just as a matter of moral obligation, but indeed for the survival of the planet itself.
The organisations who are supported through the NQLP are generally organisations who would not be able to access the skills that the young lawyers provide, or would not be able to afford those skills.
I'm a corporate finance lawyer at Clifford Chance. I've just come back from a 2-month placement with a regional human rights NGO in Bangalore in southern India. I think it's difficult to do the kind of work I was doing and be exposed to a lot of the human rights issues in India and not be changed at a personal level.
They don't just sit in an office. They very much get engaged with the work that the partners do, whether it's children's rights or women's rights or looking at child labour issues. They are involved in the communities, they work with the stakeholders that the partners engage, and they get to see firsthand the impact that the partners' work has on these target groups.
A significant part of A4ID's role is to facilitate the sharing of knowledge and expertise. Through our education and events programmes, we enable development and legal professionals to learn how lawyers can help to achieve the Millennium Development Goals.
Just when you think, hey, yeah, things are rough, evil seems to be unstoppable, you are exhilarated to discover there's a thing called advocates for international development. Hey, you are fantastic. Did you know that?
My admiration for the organisation has grown as the organisation has grown. If you look at what constitutes the obstacles towards the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals, an awful lot of them have their roots in ineffective or poorly working legal frameworks.
Did you know that in a country like Malawi, there are fewer lawyers than there are in the average country town in the UK? They need help. They need a level playing field. The US government can turn up at international negotiations with whole teams of lawyers who are able to simply apply the pressure of volumes of paper.
People always need help accessing the law and navigating their rights, and I think it's a really crucial way that you can invest your energy and enthusiasm to have a really tangible impact helping people around you.
Charities such as Advocates for International Development have the potential to make a huge difference.
Helping develop policy in areas where legal frameworks are not yet set up or are weak. Lawyers have a huge role to play in development.
I would suggest that if you're hesitating, don't. Get involved, do what you can, you'll be better for it. And so will the world.